welcome to another season of Let's Get Real with Haja. Who would have thought I would have made it to season 2? But here we are, and I just can't wait to share this exciting journey with you all. Season 1 was a whirlwind of emotions filled with laughter, some tearjerkers, and all around good old fun. Season 2 digs deeper into the diaspora, and it's just get real. I can't wait to share this exciting journey with you all, so stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss this. To get real with Haja, email lgrhaja@gmail.com. No story is too small to make a difference. Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Get Real with Haja. No matter where you grew up or what year you were born in, if you have West African parents, there's a very real possibility that they do each of these things we're going to be discussing today from time to time. Before I go any further, please hit the like and the subscribe button because that's what motivates me to create more content for you. Joining us today with some really good insight on this important topic are 3 lovely Sierra Leoneans who grew up in an African household. Without further ado, please help me welcome Mariam Jallo, Jonathan, and Wow. Hello and welcome. So happy to have you guys here.
Hello.
Hi, Ford, I can't see you.
Hi, Haja.
What are you hiding for? Move forward. Sorry, I like pulling your leg forward. Thank you again so much for being here, Marmer and Jonathan Ford. I really appreciate you coming out because it's a very important, topic that we're about to discuss. Because a lot of time, kids, just feel like their parent are just like, what planet is mom from again? They don't understand. But I mean, you coming out and wanting to shed some light on this topic is, I really appreciate you doing this for the community because I'm sure there are a lot of kids that are going to look back and, begin to understand, like, okay, so this is why mom is this way. This is why daddy is, talks to me the way they do. So thank you so much, for doing this. So we're just going to dive right in, guys. First of all, like, you guys should just briefly tell us about yourself. We're going to start with you ladies first.
Hi, I'm Mariam Jallo. I am a mom of 3 teenage boys. Aliu's 18, Amir 16, and Nasir 15. I'm also, during my day, I'm a business strategist for a management consulting firm. I'm the creator and founder of the GWB Ball, the Green, White, and Blue Ball that celebrates the independence of Sierra Leone. And I'm an executive producer of the platform He Said, She Said.
Nice. And you, Jonathan? Thank you, Mama. Jonathan?
Well, my name is Jonathan Bendu. I'm from Sierra Leone, West African, Freetown. I grew up in Castillo, 7 Square. Actually, I came to this country and I just got my high school diploma like a couple years back, and I'm 24 years old. I don't have no kids yet.
Nice.
I'm a single man.
I mean, he just had to put it out there. He's single. Call him. Joking. Why?
Alright, my name is Fuad, aka Fried Stew Lover, as I'm formerly known on Instagram. What do? I like doing charity and bringing together my community, especially the Sierra Leonean community. Because back in the days we used to have it, but it's like it kind of went away. So that's what we're working towards bringing back now, so we can have that oneness kind of feel. Yeah. So that's what I'm actively working on now and other things. But that's it. That's all I have to say.
Nice. Thank you for the introductions. And it's like you guys are all over doing, different works of life, and Big up. You guys are doing great. Guys, so what are some of the things you've experienced growing up, or like some of your fun memories growing up?
Ooh, so, my dad used to ask myself and my younger brothers, I have two younger brothers, Muhammad and Suleiman, and my mom to just randomly just get ready. And he'll take us to the park down by Reagan National, by the airport, to watch the planes take off. And it used to just pop up at this most random times. So we would do that. We would watch the planes take off, and we'll just talk about what's going on. And then he'll take us to Mr. Sweet's, the ice cream shop in Georgetown. So that's something that I myself have continued to do with my boys. And when I talk to like my younger cousins, it's not something that they experience with their family. So it's definitely built like fond memories within me, and it's something that I've also tried to do with my own kids too.
That's nice. That's nice. How do they feel about it today? Is it the same?
So I told them, so my youngest, Tina, I took him out. We do these one-on-one dates with all of the boys. But last week we talked about it. I've done it a few times with them as well. But they love it. It's an opportunity just for everyone just to sit down. You put your electronics away because you have kids in their phones.
Right, of course.
But yeah, so they enjoy it. And I also have explained to them what their grandfather has done with us so that they can see. And hopefully when they get older and they have kids, they can do the same thing.
Yeah, that's nice. It's very nice. And it's good that they enjoy it, because sometimes, they're like this old school, I don't mix Spanish business. I want to do new school.
Very
but
true.
It's good that they enjoy it. And what about you, Jonathan?
I mean, when I was growing up, because I grew up here, but my dad was not too much in my life really, because everything I was doing by myself. Like, I basically got kicked out when I was like 15, and from there I never went back home. I was just outside, so I really did too much. That's how I met Florida.
No way.
You start kicking it.
Don't tell it like that. Don't tell it the right way.
Well, yeah, that's about it. I didn't really have that much fun when I was young. I wanted to play sports. Like, I'm like a soccer player and I play basketball, but my dad was never there for me to take me to practice, nothing like that. So I just was just outside.
So what did you do that you got kicked out?
I mean, I was fighting, gambling in school. So my they kept calling me, and I got kicked out of school. I had to go to military school. So that's when my dad, like, you feel me? The military school I got kicked out too, so you gotta leave. Because it looked like, you feel me, not trying to be on the right path. So then this guy right here told me, like, you know what? You gotta be on the right path, my boy.
Aww, Fred, look at you, being a role model. That's great. I mean, listen, that's good, Fred. Give me 5. No, but that's really good though. I mean, a lot of times we don't have people our age that will kind of direct us in that right, direction. So to have you, Fred is a young man, to have you just say that, I did this for you, that's great. Because when we think about mentorship in our community, we're looking at an older, individual. So that's great. Ford.
Mine growing up, like, okay, so my mom met my stepdad when I was 6, right? At first, me and my stepdad never used to get along because it was kind of like, we just didn't used to get along, like, clashing all the time. I used to run away from home, stuff like that, because it was just like, why you don't treat me nice? But then my mom and my stepdad had my little brother, right? But it's like, y'all treat him very nice, but you don't treat me nice. And it's like, I'm always sitting back watching, like, why I always gotta clean, why I always have to do this. I therefore can't go to school, do his homework. I know all his information, I fill out his paperwork, everything. And at the end of the day, it's like the love and affection they gave him, I didn't get that. But I was never like an envious brother. I just accepted that me and my stepdad didn't get along for like a long time. So it led to, like, sometimes I would just leave, come back like a week or 2 weeks later. But as you get older, you just grow out of things, and like, that was just my little brother. Like, he's just always been with me. I never let how his father treated me affect me in his relationship, because that was my little brother, and that's just how it's gonna be. So, because I always love my little brother, I always watch over him, take care of him, stuff like that. But like growing up, me and my stepdad didn't have like that kind of relationship. So I just always was chilling with other men in the neighborhood or other friends, because they showed me more love, and I didn't get that in the house. So I just turned to hanging outside, chilling with whoever I was chilling with, because I was lacking it at home. But I found it somewhere else. And now that I got 3 boys, that's why I always tell people, be the parent you wish you had growing up. So that's why I'm always like affectionate, and I love using spend time with my boys. And sometimes like some of my homies be like, damn, are you the mom? And I'll be like, you don't know how I grew up, why I'm the way I am now with my sons. Maybe you grew up with a affectionate mom and dad. I didn't grow up with that. So I want my kids to have that, because like the world already set up against little black boys and girls. So let them have love and affection from me and their mom. So that's why I am the way I am with my boys, because I just want them to know that even if the world against you, I'm not, your mom's not. So that's how I move with mine.
Oh, well, thank you for that. I mean, I just, I really appreciate you sharing that part of your life, because, like, I mean, it affected you, you know, in a way. But we can look back and say that affected you in a positive way, because, again, I mean, not too many people would have reacted the way you did, you know. And so, I mean, thank you for doing what you do in the community. You know, thank you for showing the kids, you know, so much love, you know. I mean, it's everything, all the craziness that's going on around the world. So, thank you for that. But like, how did your parent communicate to you guys when you were growing up? Like, what was like communication like in the household?
I didn't have like communication. It wasn't like talk to me nice, oh, go do this, go do that, and then if you tire or you make any slick sound effects, wow, so it's like it was always like ordering. But I would say this. My mom was very, very nice to me, because I was her only child up until she met him. Like, I won't lie on my mom. She was very nice to me. The beef between me and my mom came when it was like, I felt like she was choosing the man over me. Like, if I'm laying complaint to you, like, this is what he's doing to me when you're not here, or even when you're here, and then you silent about it. At the end of the day, I'm a young man, but like the way that I was being taught on the street, like, you're still a man, and you can't let no other man play with you. So that's when I developed that mentality, like, even if my stepdad play with me, nobody else in the street gonna play with me. And eventually that mentality turned on him until I snapped on him. Then my mom was like, why'd you do that? I was like, but how many years did I lay complaint? And you didn't do nothing, or my aunts and them didn't do nothing. So eventually, like, I just snapped on it. I guess me and him got to that point where he was like, okay, it's F not mine. So me and him got to that point where we understood, like, you're not gonna keep playing with me, because at the end of the day, you're an older man, but I'm an up and coming man, and you're not about to play with me any kind of way. So that's just how it was until me and him got to that mutual ground. Now me and him cool now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sorry about that. But me, actually, like, let me see, when I was young, and my dad, like, once I hear my dad voice coming in the house, I go in my room straight away. Cause I like his voice, I would be scared of his voice or the way he look at me. Cause he got one look, like he look at me, and I gotta do what I gotta do for sure, for him to make sure, you feel me, he happy. So I always scared of my dad, no matter what. But now that, you feel me, I start expressing myself to him, you feel me, telling him what it is. You feel me, like me and him like this now, you feel me, because before was like way apart. Like I used to like leave the house and never come back. Like months. He used to call people like, where am I? They never see me. But I'm good though, like, you feel me? People know I'm good, but they never see me because I used to be scared of him. Like, even his girlfriends, I told him that, like, your son, you're like scared of you feel me? Sometimes just bring your tone down, because you don't know how to talk. My dad didn't know how to talk. He shouts, he out, go do this, go do that. Nah, that's not how it's supposed to be. So that's how I grew up in my household.
I mean, I can relate to that. I don't think any of our parents, well, let me speak for myself. I grew up in a household where my dad would walk in the house and everyone is scattering. The way they used to communicate was yelling and screaming. And I myself now have kind of taken that into the way I parent somewhat. And my kids are the ones that are constantly reminding me to this, you know, it's not that serious. Just calm down, and then you realize that you can communicate your thoughts a lot easier just by speaking normally.
Right.
But when you grow up in a household when your parents are walking through the door and the first thing you hear is "Mama," it's a lot.
You already know.
Yeah, exactly. So I grew up in that household where the way we communicate sarcasm and a lot of yelling and screaming. But my parents have since they've gotten older, so that has since changed a bit.
Remember, I can relate to that because it was just like, I was telling someone just the other day, I was talking to my son and I was screaming at the top of my lungs and he said, "Mommy, it's not that serious." Like,
Imagine, can we say something like this?
I want to school now. It took everything in me for those guys on me, something like, "Ooh, child, don't try me, don't."
The funny thing is, they're right.
Yeah. Like, you can communicate better. And that's something we all can attest that. In an African household, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. But then, if you understand where it's coming from, they're not screaming in the morning. It's in the evening after they've dealt with a long day of work and the stresses of life. And until you become a parent and you get older, you understand where it's coming from. It doesn't make it right. But I know that I myself came from that place. I was doing it with my kids. If my kids were here now, I'd say that I still do from time to time, but I feel like I've gotten better. Yeah,
that's true, and that's a good coping mechanism. You're able to realize that I don't want to do the same thing, but if you were like me, right? You'll likely be raised the old-fashioned way, and meaning you spare the rod, you spoil the child, right? And so, what is the worst punishment you've ever received, and what did you do to receive that punishment?
Actually, the worst punishment I ever received was when I was young. I had a gang. When I was in Africa, I had a gang. We call ourselves Perfect Boys. We used to play soccer.
Were you guys perfect though?
I mean, it was perfect.
Somewhat.
We used to somehow, you feel me?
Okay.
But we had different groups too that didn't like us. And I was like the 5-star general. So you feel me? Everything goes, you feel me? And me, when I say, the area I'm from, Kisiro, Sunday Square. So when I say ball and play, you feel me? I had to hold the ball, somebody play the ball, and fetch. So what happened was one day, it was like a gang beef going on, and we had to go fight the boys. So don't put WhatsApp, Pepe, all kinds of things inside the bottle. Don't make all kinds of things go fets. So now we don't go fets now. The ladies now don't go fets, and we compound. And baby girl, we can host. So all man dinner that house there now. We all not go place that house there. So now don't come back. Time for now can beat you now. We go pull the cane. All man can beat all man now. I'm not the first person. That's why 5-star all man and me. 5-star general. And me first then beat. And then beat me when I left all man and all man go. And the worst mistake and the worst punishment I ever get.
Oh wow. I'm sorry. What?
I think the worst punishment. It wasn't even a punishment. I was just kind of embarrassed. Like my stepdad came to my school, cause I was used to fighting and having my own way, right? And he just came to my school in front of everybody, my teachers, and all the bubble then were on steady already. Yeah, man, the guy can't bubble me before. And I said, dang, man, I don't respect you, man. I was mad at my stepdad, man. When I got home that day, I said, bro, you gotta fight me, bro. I ain't going for that, bro. And the guy said, wait till I said, bro, you gotta fight me, bro. Bro, all year long I've been beating them, bro, in this school. Can't bubble me like so. As your friend, you can't do nothing, you can't say nothing. I'm like, man.
Why, what did you do? What did my father you take on at school?
Nothing. The guy just come go. So I guess that day he was off work. So he said, let me just go check how Fuad doing in school.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, my grades was always good in school, but I just never used to take CTI from nobody. It didn't matter who it was.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would get suspended or in school detention or Saturday detention, and I just do my work and homework and turn it in. But I don't know, that guy, man, ever since that day.
Oh,
yeah, embarrassing.
Sorry. So, growing up in an African household, there's one thing that we always hear, right? It's don't have sex because you got pregnant or you would die and blah, blah, blah. So, how did your parent talk to you all about sex?
I hate double standards. So I'm so interested to hear what your parents told you, because my parents, every female cousin or sister that I've ever talked to our parents tell us the same thing. If man touch you, na belly they come out. So, period. There was never any health information behind it, not what your body is doing.
Right.
It was always that abstain from sex. It's not for you. You're not ready for it until you're married. So, yeah, that was the gist of what was shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to figure it out on my own. Like, one good thing I would say about my parents, because I know a lot of parents, African parents, that did not do that. When I was in the 5th and 6th grade, they offered sex ed. Because my parents thought it was such an uncomfortable conversation. They would prefer the teacher, the white teacher, to teach me. So they signed a permission slip, and that's how I was educated. But my parents did not have a real conversation with me.
Wow.
I mean, me, like I said, I grew up with my dad, and my dad really never talked to me about stuff like that. So I was just going with the flow, you feel me? I was just outside, just going with the flow. But I never got spoke about sex. But growing up, learning from this guy right here.
Ooh, fine. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
So, you know, learning from this guy right here, so now I know a lot now. I know a lot now learning from this guy right here.
Florida International Academy, okay? Florida, go ahead.
Nah, like, okay, when I never had that combo with Zainab and Victor, never. It was just,
Not design over the big.
yeah, it was just guys from my neighborhood that used to be like, oh, you're not, because I came when I was 6. By the time I was like 11, 12, they was already asking me like, you're not having no sex. I was like, what? No, I don't even know where to put it. They was like, what you mean? They was like, you supposed to by now. And then the girls was older than me, so they was like, me, you gonna do something? And I was like, no, we're not, because I don't know what to do. So my mom and dad, one time in school, they had sex ed, so they just signed the permission slip, put me in there. But like, it was guys from the neighborhood that was telling me you gotta do this, and that. But
And what is the this?
Right? Yeah, elaborate. Tell us.
I don't know, they was telling me you gotta put it here, touch this, touch that. And I was just like, alright, when it happens, I guess it'll happen. But no, we don't have them kind of talk. We never had that kind of talk.
Yeah, so we all can agree that there's a conversations that we need to be having, you know, with our kids, you know. A lot of times a parent don't want to talk, they feel comfortable talking about it. But like, besides sex, there's so many other things like, STDs. STDs out there, you know, you want to educate your child, you know, to, when they go out, be safe. Because eventually they're going to go out, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, I feel like that 11, 12, that was too young.
No, it's not. There was people there 10 years old already ahead of me.
Because I 11, 12-year-old, in Africa, I had my lady that used to take care of me when I was young. After she showered me, that was the first time I ever see what like a girl in a private part looked like. Like when I was young, she showered me, she took me in the room, like took my ping out and put it in that thing. I'm like, man, really?
That's abuse.
I'm like, that's.
Yeah,
I mean, you feel me? That's like, it's crazy because I look at like stuff like that really happen, but people be like, it's not happening, but stuff like that really happen. They got like
I had to fight 2
delusional
girls to get away one time.
Stuff like
What?
that.
Yeah, they took me to the laundry room. I had to fight them to get up out of there. Because I didn't know what to do. I was scared, so I just got to wrecking them and ran out.
So that's all the reason why we should be having this conversations. Because like, you know, me, I was always scared, you know, they scare me tete. I remember I was in a primary school, right? And then the first thing they ever told me, right, said, if man touch you, you're gonna get pregnant. And so one day I come out of school and then this man just touched me. So, hey, fine girl. I cried till I reached nose. Why are you crying? I'm like, that man touched me. I'm like, what? But like, that's how I understood it. It's like, if man touch you, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, even though we want to scare our kids and just make sure that we refrain from sex at a young age, but at the same time, we have to, as parents now, we have to be aware that, you know, kids know a lot more than what we know back in the day.
5 years old and
what really messed us up as a young, really, that my mind, Papa gave me the way they play with small. I even sick,
I made him do that. Yeah.
I never seen that way. Like my sister, I never heard like, "Don't play my mind, Papa." But
No, they do.
Like, "Don't play my mind, Papa."
I think they
like,
have.
as next kind of money play on dark. My mind, Papa.
Okay, not that.
Not that right?
That really messed us up.
Yeah. That's funny. But in an African household, at least for me, right? Like I said, you have to look and sound unwell, right? Otherwise, you cannot claim sick. So, what was it like being sick in your household?
I had perfect attendance in elementary, middle school, and high school. My parents never believed we were sick. Ever. So I have a funny story. So I'm allergic. I'm definitely allergic to fish. We put fish in everything that we could. I mean, I have a story. My mom went to the wharf, came home with this blue trout and told me to clean the fish. I can't eat fish. I can't be around fish. I can't touch fish.
Oh, wow.
She brought this fish home and she said, "You gotta clean the fish for me." When I was done, my entire body broke out in hives. My mother looked at me, she said, "Oh, my fresh blood." After that moment, and then I had another incident where I ate it and like almost stopped breathing. She's like, "Oh, you are allergic to fish."
Oh,
Let me ask you a question. Right? So, can you still eat fish right now?
No, I can't. I can't eat fish at all. I can eat any seafood. I cannot eat fish.
wow.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah, I'm sure. It seems like I'm the one that's missing out. But yeah.
Oh my God, that's scary though.
Yeah. I mean, I think that 13 is when they realized, okay, Myron cannot eat fish.
Wow. And that's the thing with the African household, you just can't even have a low grade fever because that's not like you're be burning hot. It's like they just trust their hand and just put it like this. Sorry, I'm touching you. But it's like, okay, go lead them. But yeah.
I mean, for me in America, I really never got sick. The only time I really went to the hospital when my like.
Knock on wood.
Nah, but yeah, the only time I really went to the hospital like something serious is when my ex-girlfriend I bit my hair off, like bit a chunk of my hair off. Like it's an American girl I was dealing with, like right here. Yeah, I was like take a piece.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was when I went to America. But in Africa, I got sick so bad, like everybody thought like they lost Jonathan, like cause I went to the village, Lungate. That's where my great grandfather from Padikali. So I went there to go spend some time before I came to America. So it was a tree under like a little place, but the bush was supposed to go. So I went there, I picked up the plum, then chuchu plum there. I eat one part there. I was so sick badly, everybody thought I was dead.
Wow.
They gave me like the IV. I think they gave me a lot of IV. I forgot how many IV they told me they gave me, but it was a lot. Cause I was so bony, like if you see me, like you didn't recognize as Jonathan. Everybody thought I was dead. That's the only time really I got sick and like I really took it like that serious, but.
Yeah, I've not ever been sick for real, like a major sickness or any major medical condition. Yeah, like I just haven't. So I'll go thank you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm not allergic to anything I know, so I'm fine.
That's really good. Health is wealth.
For sure. And sorry for this story. You know why this guy health is well? Going there smoking and drinking. Now what's out strictly.
That's good. So, African parents would not think twice about comparing you to your friends and cousins who they believe are somehow doing better in life than you. So, did your parents ever compare you to your overly successful cousins?
Oh yeah.
Then I think that's the way of life in a Samoan household.
Yeah, that one is just hereditary. I can't skip that. Man, but me, I got a cousin named Alari. When me and her was growing up, right? She, like, I'm not dumb. I used to get good grades and all, but Alari just, okay, so if I get an A, she gonna get an A plus, right? If I get a 98, she gonna get 100. Just one of them annoying people in life. And so, like, I got good grades, but she got better grades, and then she went to go they made her go meet Bill and Hillary Clinton. Oh my God. Why that baby they forgot me to Bill Clinton? here comes Anna with Victor. Yes? You see? Why they tell you for study only book no ground all day, then I don't playground. Look because I don't go meet president. When you gonna take us to go meet president? I said, why you don't take yourself to go meet president? Fox, I'll slap. But yeah, that's my cousin, man. She just always, oh, why you can't be like Valerie? Why you can't be like this? And I said, cause I'm not them. That's why one day I said, bro, if you want, you can leave my mom, then you go date Valerie's mom so you could inherit her. You feel me? If you want her so bad, go ahead, man. I'm like, I don't know, man. But that African parents have literally deterred a lot of their kids' blessings or things their gifts that God give them what they're good at. They've driven a lot of their kids away from passions that could be making them money to just pack financial aid debt on their kids by, oh, your cousins are R&B and sin. You said falafel. These people don't even like looking after people like that, so why are you pushing them? You know how many people have in the medical field that beats their clients or don't care about that?
That thing kind of affects you mentally though, because it gets stuck with you, and you always will try for it supersede whatever that person is. Sometimes you just can't. It affects you. You know,
learn when you gotta pay Sally Mail or whoever all that money for a job you don't even like. Yeah, go do something you like because the debt not in your parents' name.
I think this generation now is doing that.
For sure.
My generation, we did, I think I was talking about this earlier, my generation, we did what paid the bills and had our little passion stuff on the side. But to our parents, and I'll say this because I'm going through this now, they do it in a way to motivate us. It really doesn't, but they feel like it's a way to motivate us. So. But you know, I don't compare my kids to anybody else.
That'll bring resentment towards kids.
Because that's how it was with me too. I resented whenever my parents did that. So yeah, no, I don't do that. That's one of those things that I kind of, from my African upbringing, I threw that one out the window. I don't compare my boys to each other. I don't compare them to anybody else.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Talk about comparison. So like I got basically a story. So I have like uncles like. Cause I used to be bad. Like when I say bad, I used to be bad. All of them like used to like feel like their kids is the best. Like and my dad used to go tell them like, yeah, that boy's bad. He's a bad kid. I don't want to come around the community. Cool. But the same people that you compare with me, right? I never got like caught with anything like, let me say, like I didn't even walk around with guns. But the same uncle that used to tell my dad like, oh, your son is this, your son is that. It's the same uncle now, their kids on video shoot, having big guns in their hand, doing all block this, all type of, you feel me? So I look at that, I told my dad the other day, like, yo, all that, you feel me, them guy was doing. You can ask one of them right now, which one of them, their son got certificates out here for doing something good, you feel me? And they can never prove it. All they're gonna show is, oh, I'm selling weed, I'm drinking lean, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Same kids that they was comparing me and them, and we're not even about the same age. They were even younger than me, but they used to just put it in my dad's face, and my dad used to just go back and go put it in their face, like, yeah, my son is the bad one. Because my dad never used to really talk for me. Like, when you talk for you, like, back you up. My dad knows how to do it. He would go with the person, like, oh, Jonathan, he smoke? Oh, yeah, he smoked. He's the person that smoked. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's how it is. It's always been like that.
And I'm sure that affected you.
Yeah, always.
That's the same lie they used to tell on me. He said, me not jamba smoker, me not jamba dealer. I'm a leader of a gang, and I used to look like, bro, where am I pulling the weed from? I don't even smoke weed to be selling or anything. But anyway, as you get older, that's why you gotta be careful what you wish on other people's kids or your own kids. Because the child that you're not watching is gonna do exactly what you lying on that one child. Me, I ain't snitching on me. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do no drugs. Can't say that for the other ones, you feel me? So that's what their parents to take that convo before.
Yeah, so I mean, parent, we have to be aware of the way we talk to our kids too, because when you speak certain things, you gotta speak it in existence. You know what I mean? Because like you say, what you want to feel.
Well, learning from your parents. Honestly, if you have not sat down and looked at yourself internally and say, this is all the red flags I had with my parents growing up, if you bring those same things again to your kids, bro, you are very useless in this life.
But you know, sometimes you can do that without even noticing that you're doing it.
That's why you have
It's
to.
important. Like, if you don't know any better,
Yeah.
you literally
That's why
have
you
come
gotta
from
go
this
internal.
place where you've seen how your parents move. So that's your book of record. That's how you don't know any different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to your point, I have seen a lot of people. I mean, I just said some of the things that I grew up with. I completely threw it out because I know how it affected me.
Yeah.
But what about those things that are negative that didn't affect us badly, and then you bring that into how you're a parent? So I say this all the time. If you, to your point, Ford, if during this pandemic, if you have not taken the time to be introspective, to think about where you are in life and the things that you don't like about yourself and the things that you want to be better about yourself, and start to make a plan to move in that different direction. If you haven't done it during this time, you're never going to do it.
Right.
So
you know, African people, or let me just say like adults, like just like people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Once somebody's set in their ways, they're set in their ways. And then the messed up thing is you will have some people like our age that come from toxic homes or toxic parenting, and they'll be doing the same thing to their kid, and they'll be like, well, I didn't die. I didn't die. Look at me. I'm fine. I'm like, bro, you're beating your child every single second for something so minute, and you're saying it didn't affect me. Look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
It literally affected you, but subconsciously, you're not even hip that it did. Like, I had a cousin like that, and I had to tell him don't come to my house anymore because I have boys. I don't beat my boys. I speak to my boys. I don't even do too much to my boys. Why you can't do the same for yours? And my kids are watching you abuse your child, and when they see it, they get scared. They don't see that from me.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, it look like me have two different sets of parents, and I don't want yours to rub off of mine. So make all my older one, please.
And that's what they should.
He's never
sometimes you just
been to
have
my
to draw the
house.
line, you know, for your sanity or your family's sanity. So, yeah.
Because like I said earlier, dude, what I went through, I don't want my boys to go through that, nor do I want anybody to, even if you're not doing this to them, you're doing this to somebody around them, I don't want them to think it's okay. That's why I be teaching them that every time.
Right. So, let's talk about the money part. Money. What did your parents teach you about money or finances?
Man, I used to wait till when it's snowstorm, because I grew up in DC and like Maryland, so I used to wait like when it snowed, I just go take a shovel people's driveway, catch my $40 or $50 each, and then I go buy myself Jordans, because I remember my dad bought me Timberlands, and the guy said I can't wear them unless we're going to a party. I said, bro, I'm gonna just go shovel snow and buy my own. I remember he used to make me wear like drawers, tidy whities, right? And I'm like, I'm on the block with the homies. I can't even lift up my shirt. But I'm wearing damn leopard printed drawers. My homeboys are all wearing boxers. Man. The guys say he bought me boxers, but I can only wear it on the weekend. I said, man, you know what? I'm go buy my own boxes, my own Jordans, my own everything. Like, man,
So they really didn't teach you, but indirectly they did. You know, like, I'm gonna go step back to my mother.
Yes, I used to shovel snow or whatever, or do something to go get money because you know they don't know no better. They're gonna go to Payless and think that this is fine.
That's fly.
But then like as soon as you put it on, because I grew up in DC for the most part. As soon as you put it on from the bus stop to school back home, it's over for you. And I'm like, and you know me now. I came from Salon, right smack in the hood. And I'm not light skinned, so it's like, bro, you gotta pick what you want to make fun of. Bro, you're not gonna be laughing at my skin color and my skin. I said, nah, man.
You gotta pick one.
Yeah, you gotta pick what you want to laugh at today, but you're not doing both.
Oh, Lord, it's hilarious, mama.
I said, pay that up, man. No.
Oh, so the money thing. So I studied accounting and finance at Howard, but I came to realize what my parents taught me and what really needed to be taught were far. My dad tried to teach me about credit cards, and his view was don't use them. So of course, if you're on campus, Discover was on campus, American Express, Visa, they'll give you like little trinkets just for you to apply. I walked away my freshman year. I think I had like every store card that they possibly could have and every credit card. But the statements were being mailed to the house.
Ooh.
So when I got home for my first break, my dad was like, just give me all your cards. He took the cards, he cut them up, but of course you could still go into the store and give your information. So his thought was, debt is bad. I'm a finance person. Debt is good if you know how to use it. And honestly, people who are in business, they realize that they use other people's money and they don't use their money. So I've since, of course, moved away from the things that my dad tried to teach me about that. So with my boys, what I do now is, I've gone online, I've purchased like curriculum for the kids to teach them. All of my boys have debit cards. They've had debit cards since they were like 14. I try to teach them about budgets, how much you should save, how much you should spend, and how much you should donate. So we have those 3 buckets. So yeah, I try my best now to like keep them financially literate.
That's good.
So, and it's just because I struggled in the beginning, and now I feel like I'm a whole lot better with just how to manage it. So I'm trying to pass that on to my boys.
Wow, that's great. I think I'm gonna,
I'll let you know.
That's
I'll tell you the
it,
curriculum and everything. It's really good. It is age appropriate. From I think what I've noticed in that's the Black community, it's all African Caribbean and African American. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about how much we made. We don't talk about some of the things that we need to put in place for the generation that comes behind us. Wills, like I've had friends whose parents have passed away, and they've advised me to make sure that my parents had their stuff in order. But yeah, we don't talk about money. We just don't, and it's a unfortunate thing because we want to have generational wealth, and a lot of us don't know how to build that.
Very, very important. Very, very important. So I'm gonna be reaching out to you for that resource.
For sure.
So I can help my kids, and
Yeah, my sons, I got them. They got their own debit card or cash app card. Sure.
It's great. It's great. You don't want to add anything.
Money wise, my dad really didn't teach me how to like save, nothing like that. Everything really I taught myself, and 4 hour I had for. But other than that,
Academy of Ford.
my dad really didn't teach
Ford
me.
Academy.
My dad really didn't teach me nothing at all. It was one time he felt like, okay, he bought me some 993s, they just came out in balances. And that was the first shoes he bought me. So I didn't have no phone though. How you gonna buy me a phone without no, how you gonna buy me shoes and I don't have no phone? You might as well buy me a phone first, you feel me? So what happened was, I used to play soccer for the school. But it was this dude that around the neighborhood, like people know me, they always call me like Bender, that's my last name. Boom. Well, this dude around the area that used to like, I never knew he used to go rob people. So one day he robbed some lady like 2 hours ago, and he was walking the path that we was walking from practice coming back. But I know him personally, you know me? His name was Teddy, the American boy. So I switched. We switched to what they call it. We switched the shoes for the phone. For my brand new 993, my dad bought me because I had no phone. And I needed a phone. You know what I mean? So I switched it and I walked home with my slippers on. So me switching the shoes to the phone, I took like 3 steps and I got caught with the phone. Police pulled us, called all of us, they let everybody go, and they arrested me. And now, you feel me, I had to call my dad now to come pick me up. And my dad is not the type of person, he don't encourage police, he don't like police. So the first thing he told me, look, I cannot come pick you up, I'm in New Jersey. And the whole time he was in the house, you feel me? He tell me straight up, I cannot come pick you up, I'm in New Jersey, but he in the house. So it was the girl that he was with pick up the phone and like, no, we about to go get him right now. We about to leave my car. I was like 15, 14 at that time. And that was my freshman year in high school too. And everything was just like my dad, like he never told me like saving, spending money wise. Like even after that happened right there, it never brought me nothing else. So one time I went to go do something and I came up with some money and I went to go buy a PS3 now. But they called him from school like, yo, your son was playing with his phone in class, boom, 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 boom. Then he came home trying to take my PS3 from the room. So me tried to team up. I said, no, this one I need to come. All them tell you don't buy from this one until you buy them. Tell that team up for me need to come. So that was the last time me and my dad clashed and I just left the house. And I never seen him again until like 2018, 17, and I saw my dad again. I never seen him since then. And that's the time too I lost my mom too.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Well, financial wise, my dad didn't talk to me about financial wise. This is financial addiction that I listen to.
Oh. Nice. So, what is something you do not like about an African parent? Or what is one thing?
It's just the communication. I mean, this communication is what we use with everything, all of our relationships. So, like I said earlier, they've gotten better, but the communication piece is definitely one of those things that I've had to navigate and didn't really learn to communicate very well from my parents.
I just think parents in general should just need, like, you know how a lot of them try to act like they was never 16, 17, 18. I think they need to have more of an open mind and better understanding. Like your time and this time is like night and day. Like, but that's what I would wish or hope for them. Just be more understanding to like the social, like society, social media, peer pressure, because peer pressure was there back then. Don't smoke, don't do drugs, okay, but peer pressure is like 10 times more now, because it's like the smoking is the minorest thing now you be doing. Like, it's so many other things now, so I think they should just have a more open mind to that, for real. Yeah, that's all I would.
Do they have anything you want to add?
I mean, what really I don't like about African parents is like, they just don't know how to be like, what's the word? Passionate to their kids. Like, what I mean passionate, like, one moment, like, okay, let me put it like this. My dad is the type of dude, right? Let me see what team streets. Let me see you bring money back to like, you feel me? Like, saying like, you want to show love, or you ate, did you do this, did you do that? Oh, did you do that, you understand? And they're always wrong with that. Not like because it's in the streets, you want to show me love, you feel me? What's in the bad, now the more you need them, like, picking and need them people there. I always tell my dad, like, you feel me, you can't be doing that, you feel me? When you feel like I'm coming through for you, like, you feel me, you have to like always show me love. And I always tell him that. I even explain to his wife about that, you feel me? Like, because me, I'm, like I said, I've been always scared of my dad. I don't speak to him directly. I gotta talk to his girl. I just can't let me go like, and then that's one thing too wrong with African parents. Like, let me say, okay, I come as you as a son. Like, dad, look, what you doing right now is not right. Boom, 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 boom. But then, at the end of the day, you thinking I'm being disrespectful, but all the time, I'm telling you reality stuff.
Yeah.
It's something that's bothering me, like in my heart, like for you to know. Like, look, I don't like this, I don't like that, but you won't think it's disrespectful. And that's like two things I don't like about African parents. They don't have no love for their kids, like when everything is like bad. Only time when good things is happening, I'm gonna have love for their kids. That's what most African parents always get messed up at.
It's interesting you said that, because like I think there's a saying in we some Sierra Leoneans where they say we begin come up find then it's the dad, then we begin come up back it's the mom. So it's kind of like it's similar to what they kind of say.
It still goes on. It still goes on. That's the crazy part about it. It really still goes on. But people don't see it because, like I said, that's why like people don't understand. Like, everybody live different life in America. Like, just because your parents giving you this or what you want, don't mean the other person's parents giving them the same thing. And at the end of the day, some people like they don't really feel the vibe with their parents. So that's why some people like they move away, like they go far away and never want to talk to their parents no more. I got a lot of friends like that. Like, feel me, that they never want to even see their parents no more. Because like the vibe they already give them, and that's wrong.
It's sad that there are parents out there that actually do this, because like again it kind of messes up with you. And African is like always the honor when you do something it's honorable, that you're proud to say let me begin this, let me begin that, and then when something happens, I think the shame, they're more focused on the shame rather than how they can make you better.
Yeah, make it better.
It's a shame, or they focus on themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to add one thing too. Sometimes I feel that we have to give our parents a little bit of grace. I don't want to make it seem as if we should give them a pass on bad behavior.
Right.
But if your parents weren't shown what you're expecting to get, they could never be that person for us because no one did it for them. And to Fawad's point, some parents can say, okay, I lacked this when I was growing up, and then I'll do my best to make sure my child doesn't feel that way.
Right.
So some are successful in it. But a lot of our parents, if they weren't shown that, they don't know.
And to just add to that, that's how we brought up, right? So, for example, I mean, most of the parents back home, like in the morning, first thing they get up, they're doing thought about going to school, you know. First thing they get up, okay, go now what's outside, go get what's outside, this and that. So they're so used to you waking up 6, 7. They're so used to waking up 6, 7 in the morning. They start doing chores right away. So when we were laying in bed, or you know, you stay in bed till 10, 11, they was like, what is wrong with you? But again, you have to understand that's just how, you know, they were brought up, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And I realized that too because me, I met my dad. I met him. He over here, like he's American. And one thing about it, like I see like it's what my dad went through with his dad. Cause they don't even talk right now. Like they don't even speak right now. Like so, they don't even speak right now. So that's why I'm like, I think of the stuff that he went through with his dad, trying to put pressure on me. And that's not right, you feel me? You're supposed to like change your ways because your dad treats you that way, means you gotta treat.
But then that goes to what I was saying, right?
Right, that's what I was trying to say.
Expectation, you know. And then add on the fact that they are generally, our parents are like the first generation that are here.
Yeah.
And they're in a whole different area, whole different culture system. It takes a lot for them. Imagine, could you go back and resettle with Sierra Leone now?
Me?
Yeah. You think you could?
Nah, cause I don't got nobody right there. With my mom that had right there, but nobody really right there.
So imagine them coming here with nobody, no parents. I mean, it's again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm making excuses for them, but also being able to give them grace because I tell you, I went back to Sierra Leone in May with my boys. We were there for a month, and my parents, they are sometimes here, sometimes there. They go back and forth. They're retired. And I sat back and I was in awe of my parents because I watched the way they maneuvered themselves around Sierra Leone. Like I watched the way they were able to talk to my kids, they were able to talk to the Oka. Like I just sat back and I had to tell myself, they're not American. This is where they were born. This is where they're comfortable. You know, so I was really amazed, and my respect for my parents went up so much because Sierra Leone is not an easy place to maneuver at all. But I watched in awe how they were able to move because that's where they're from.
So, because of this, do you worry your children will experience or are experiencing the same issues you did? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I just want to go over that.
I think they'll have their own set of issues, honestly, because the way I was brought up, even though I was born here, my parents, you're African, you're Sierra Leonean, right? So now, me being a parent, I'm literally trying to instill that in a second generation born here, and their father is American, so they are taking the best of both worlds. Also being critical of me where I go berserk in their eyes.
Those
places where they think I'm doing too much.
Their word.
So, I take the good things, and I try my best to kind of leave those things that I felt that were kind of traumatic to me. Leave that.
No, I'm not gonna be anything like my parents were. I've always told myself that when I was little, like the anger and hatred I felt for them for a long time, and the resentment, and why my homeboys over there, they go out, they do fun family stuff, why I can't do, like, it's just a lot of things. I just told myself when I get older and I have kids, preferably I wanted boys, I'm like, I'm gonna be different from them, and I make that my mission to be different from them, and I'm gonna continue to be that because I just don't want them to feel no hatred or anger and animosity towards me at all. Like, I just want them to be happy with me and happy that God gave me the chance to be their dad. So I just want to be the best dad I could be for them. That's it.
That's great. Jonathan, I know you don't have any kids right now, but do you want to skip this
He
question? Or you want to
had a couple step kids.
Bonus kids, right?
He had a couple step kids.
I mean, for
why you putting that business out there like that?
love kids. You feel me? I always love kids, but I always wish I could have mine because the way I be trying to talk to like my girlfriends and my ex-girlfriends that I dealt with kids, they be feeling like I be harsh, but you feel me? Ain't no way you gonna be around the boy crying like a girl. Like, no. I'm gonna tell you, like, look, boy, you can't be crying like that. You a boy, man up. But at the end of the day, they gonna be like, oh, you being ash, oh, you acting like, you know what I mean? You acting like it's that. No, it's not like that.
If I'm not interject, I feel like you're kind of doing the same thing. And you're gonna be doing the same thing that your parents were doing. So you have to watch that.
No, but it's not the same thing.
I mean,
I'm telling you don't cry like a little boy. It's not the same thing.
No,
Like,
well, I mean, it's not. It doesn't have to be this exact situation, but it's different things. Like for example, that one, you know, you talking man up. I mean, did you try to call the child? Like, what's going on? How you feeling today? Like, what's the problem?
but
Instead of just going straight, like, you know.
no, but what if you already know, like, what's the problem already?
Well, how do you?
No, I already know because at the end of the day, I'm saying, like, look, let me just put this scenario. You go to the ice cream truck, you go to the ice cream truck, and the guy like, oh, look, you cannot buy this ice cream if you don't got no cash. Or if you got no cash, you come in the house, Mom, that guy just said I cannot buy ice cream. What are you doing?
It's you can't tell how people feel. I don't think anyone can predict that. If the child wanted the ice cream so bad, he doesn't understand that you have to have money to
That
get
sounds
it.
like immaturity, not necessarily the fact that he's a boy and he's crying. It just doesn't know. So
You don't understand,
I let my boys cry.
No, I'm talking about 10-year-old, you let him cry for ice cream?
My 10-year-old,
10,
he
11,
not
he not
crying,
crying,
but the
bro.
5 and 4 year
You know what I'm saying? You
old,
gotta
like,
understand.
I let them express themselves and all
That's
that,
different.
but my boys not even crybabies for real. Because I knew that because I couldn't cry and I couldn't go talk to my stepdad and my mom. She ain't know how to deal with me for real per se on that kind of emotional level. You feel me? Because I don't even think she had that growing up, to be honest. Like, because I didn't have nobody to vent to, so I just chose being around a group of people I was, and we just did the same things. Like, I didn't know how to express myself and vent and open up or even show emotion until I went to jail. That's when I learned how to express my emotions, right? Because I couldn't talk to my mom and dad, all of that kind of led me down the path I went to. Because it was like, I can't go tell my mom and dad, I'm going to talk to the homies, you feel me? And they telling me, oh, boys don't cry. Oh, a real nigga is this, a real nigga do that, a real nigga gotta move like this, you feel me? But then listening to their advice on how to be a real nigga led me to taking charges for other real niggas and going on vacation. And then when you on vacation, you see thousands of real niggas. And they're all just like this, looking at each other. Oh, you're a real nigga because you did this? Yeah. Oh, I did that too. But look at all those real niggas
so
chilling.
vacation equality too.
Yeah. So like when you go on vacation, you see other real niggas like you, and guess what? None of us knew how to just. I learned how to be a man in jail, because that's when I learned like a man can express himself, and then you still a gangster afterwards. It don't make you a sucker by expressing how you feel, but I was taught you a sucker if you cry or you complain or if you just don't take it and keep it moving. Like, that's what I learned how to do. Take the abuse, keep it moving, and go do it to somebody else.
It's called toxic masculinity.
Yeah, like that's what it was. But that's why I'm training my kids. Please don't be a real nigga. Just be a good young man to
Don't be a
society.
real nigga. I like that.
I teach my sons that, bro. I teach my sons that it's okay to not be a real nigga, because I be telling my oldest son, like, every real nigga you see me with or me, where they at? They dead or in jail. Like, and I mean that.
True.
All my real niggas is dead or they went to jail and now they home taking care of their families. So you can just be a respectable young man. We'll take that, please.
True.
That's better than being a real nigga, because a real nigga don't pay, man. Jail, dead, or hospital.
Yeah.
Them the only 3 options real niggas get. So I learned how to be a man from other real niggas in jail. And when I came out, that's why I'm the type of dad I am, because I met other real niggas that was doing 20, 10, 5 years away from their kids. Like, I met some niggas that was in jail before I was even born. And they had kids and they're grandfathers now. So they told me, when you get home, this is how you be a father, okay? And this is how you interact with your kid's mother. Like, I got some homies now. I got some. Let me like Africans now that can't comprehend why I get along with my kids' mothers and we're not together. Like they can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Like they really can't. It blows. They're like, no, you have to have boundaries. You can't do that. I'm like, bro, you can break up with people and still be good parents and cousins. But they don't understand that.
Yeah.
Why do you don't have to have an adverse relationship with someone you're no longer dating?
I don't know.
I want to know where that comes from.
I'm not trying to die early because arguing and beefing with women, you're gonna die before her.
Right.
I've seen it. Like we don't lost a couple homies just from baby mama drama.
Stress.
Real life.
Yeah.
Stress for kids.
Stress.
And women, they built for that. From morning till
It's
night.
insane. Has no period like a woman's con. You know what to do it.
And me, I ain't got time to argue. Anytime, yes, ma'am, you need this. Here you go. Boom, boom. I mind my business, take care of my kids.
That's good. That's good.
It's the same happy wife, happy life.
Like they really can't comprehend why I get along with my kids' mothers. Like they really can't
I
comprehend.
really want to get an understanding of where that comes from.
Because like I really feel like because they just have this village mentality that if you and somebody break up, there's no way you should get along.
Yeah.
If it's not about the kid, but most of the time they say it's about the kid, but it's still not about the kid. Because look at you arguing about this or that, or your boyfriend can't be around my kid, or well, your girlfriend can't do my daughter hair. It's just hair. It's like what's the
Someone has to do it.
Yeah, like I don't get it. I'm glad I was raised different.
It's just not the girlfriend. Okay. Moving on. So what advice would you give to artists that we're born here but having a hard time understanding that African parent and why they are the way they are?
My only advice I give anybody, just stay down until you come up, bro. And when whatever you're watching them do you don't like, just make sure that as you're getting older, you taking mental notes of that. Like, you really gotta remember how something made you feel and be like, let me not make it feel. Cause you see how my brother talking? He's gonna slap his son and tell him, don't do this, don't do that. Because that's just what it is.
No.
But like, he really be with my kids all the time. He's gonna be a good dad, but he just gotta get over it. Like, he just gotta lock in with his own dad and get over that. Once he get over that hurdle, he good to go. Cause he's very good with kids. Like if he get $5K, he gonna go spend $1K or $1,500 on my kids. You feel me? And all the other kids. Like, he's very freehand and giving. Like, he's affectionate like that. Because I'm telling you, us that didn't get it, we like to give it. Yeah. But now, the useless one that we can get on, they're the ones that end up deadbeats or abusive friends. I'm like, bro, I don't be understanding that. Until we got a psychiatrist and should help us.
You know, I don't. That's a hard question. Just because everybody's experience is different. I would repeat what I said a little bit earlier, just being able to give our parents grace. As long as you're not being mentally and physically abused, understand that your parents are in a whole different environment, and a lot of us wouldn't be able to survive that. So there are some things where you want to feel, I mean, I was in this documentary, Too American to be African, Too African to American. You got to be able to navigate that, honestly, and you won't be able to do it with your parents. Yeah, it's a hard situation because you don't really feel like you fit in one place or another place. You're more their environment now with these kids, where my kids are comfortable in high school speaking Creole and taking Cassava leaf to school for, that wasn't the environment I grew up in. I was called African booty scratcher from the time I was in first grade to the time I
African booty scratcher.
I used to think only Africans scratched it, but there's no way.
Where did that come from?
It's no way.
I would love to know where that came from. But all that to say, yeah, we have to, for the younger generation, I think it's a little bit different for them now, because to be African, to be anything other than American is actually more socially accepted and understood.
Yeah.
So with that, hopefully the parents have moved in the same direction or a little bit better in how they parent their kids and recognize that we're in a different environment. So that would be my advice. Give your parents grace. Parents understand that kids are dealing with a lot. So.
I mean, all I got to say, advice to African people and for our parents is just respect, obey, and like how my boy said, stay down until you come up. That's all.
So I'm convinced that everyone raised, or anyone raised in a West African household, has lived this exact same life that those beautiful people had talked about today. So for children that feels like you're being singled out, trust me, you're not. By now you would have realized that this is just the way our African parents are. And so for all the African parents that are doing this consciously or unconsciously, just be mindful that your actions are impacting these kids differently. So again, to all our African parents, Mama, myself, and Fuad, and soon to be, and all the parents out there, we love you and truly appreciate all you've done and continue to do for us. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To get real with Haja, email lgrhaja@gmail.com. No story is too small to make a difference.